Like Amal just said, we have a special guest. I think he is a special guest because, we do like India. I'm personally in love of India, Indian food, Indian culture, Indian background, Indian history, and among, other things really. And for that reason, we had to say good morning, dear Your Excellency, Mr. C.P. George. And I just asked him before on out of air, I said, what's CP mean? And he said, it is the name of one of the kings of old ancient Indian. So welcome, dear, in this episode of your Sunshine program.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here today.
Well, it is wonderful, Your Excellency, to have you with us here. We know that recently, Your Excellency, you had a meeting with the healthcare system here of Kuwait and also the IDF, I think. So can you talk to us a little bit about it?
No, I'm very happy to be here in Kuwait. And one of the first things I noticed is the kind of excellent relationship that our two countries have in the field of healthcare.
Excellent.
So one of the first requests I made was to call on the people who are in the field of healthcare. I called on His Excellency the Health Minister. I also visited the KMA. So when I went to the KMA, I took the IDF, Indian Doctors Forum, with me because they have been doing an excellent job. I would say that India has a large number of Indians present here in Kuwait.
Yes.
And when we look at it, I would say the cream of that Indians who are here are our doctors and nurses.
Excellent.
Particularly in these difficult times when we were going through the COVID, I'm so happy to see the kind of role they played in saving lives. So I'm very proud of that. That's why I went to meet the leadership here, and I'm very happy the kind of response I got from the meetings.
That's a great, really, Your Excellency. And we know since long time ago, really, most of the nursing, and the doctors, really, teams, they're coming from India, and they are coming from a certain, really, area, most of them in India, and they are looking really, Amal, so nice and so, friendly, even with the patients and the other people in the hospitals and the clinic. I think, Your Excellency, that's give a big burden and responsibility on you as ambassador of India, how to take care of those, part of the people of India. And I think they are almost reaching now close to 1 million people, Indians in Kuwait. So how, from your point of view as this position as an ambassador of this big nation, how you deal with this really? This is beside the question of the program.
Thank you. No, I'm very happy to be here. I feel at home to be in Kuwait. One main reason is as you said, the presence of large Indian community here. I'm very happy to hear from the people whom I meet in Kuwait, particularly the leadership and also our Kuwaiti friends. They all speak so high about the Indian community.
That's
they
right.
are peace-loving, law-abiding, sincere, honest, hard-working people.
Yes.
So this is something which makes you very proud, and I'm very happy that these people have contributed in the economic progress of Kuwait. So it is a mutually beneficial relationship which has worked very well, and we look forward to continuing that great relationship. You mentioned about the role of the nurses. In India there is India, as you know, is an ancient history, and in our history there is this basic concept called Atithi Devo Bhava.
Exactly.
That means the guest is like God. That is the kind of treatment you should give to your guests. So any patient which is visiting a hospital is actually a guest.
Exactly.
So the nurse there is the most important person. If, as you said, I remember you started your program with the smile factor.
Exactly.
So when the nurse receives the patient with a smile, half of the matter is sorted out. That is how, and I'm very happy that this concept of Atithi Devo Bhava is being brought in by our nurses and our doctors and our medical professionals, which is helping us a lot.
Thank you, dear.
This
Like
is-
I,
this
you know,
is
Amal,
really-
really, this is not just because you know His Excellency the Ambassador is here, but this is fact. We lived
Yes.
most of our life with the first, you know, people as also in doctor or nursing program is coming from India, and
Yes,
I think
indeed.
they are so nice people, very humble. Your Excellency, this is also reflect the heritage and the culture of Indian nation, really. When you mentioned, I said in the beginning, with a good smile and care. This is also the same thing. You people, the ambassador, the cabinet of the official diplomatic cabinet also, Amal, they reflect this image also for the people in the nation they live in.
Indeed, that's right. That's so true. And Your Excellency, we know that you are the ambassador of India, but we know as well that each and every person who lives here with us in Kuwait are ambassadors of India as well. And the heritage, the culture is so together that we are mixed. Kuwait and India are friends from generations and generations. And this pandemic really made us all aware of how global is it, that it is the world is so small. Each person on it really suffers for the other. So could you tell us in brief a little bit about the COVID-19 in India and about the situation that is? How did India really face such pandemic, and how was it really the WHO and India had collaborated against the COVID-19?
Thank you very much. I would say that India is doing very well when it comes to the COVID-19 pandemic situation.
Great.
We have a large population, 1.3 billion people. That is 1/6 of the total population of the world. So when you look at the headlines, you will say that this many COVID patients in India. But the fact is that India has one of the most successful stories when it comes to handling the COVIDs. The leadership of the country, led by the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, had taken some early steps in containing the virus. The lockdown which was introduced in India early, it has helped us to build the infrastructure and the capacity building to face the COVID situation. When we started, when we all faced, surprisingly, without any preparation, when we all faced the COVID, India did not have factories to make masks. India did not have factories to make the PPE kits, test kits.
Exactly.
But within the 3 months, India started exporting it. We have created 1.5 million isolation beds in that 3-month period. So this is a success story. And today, if you look at it, today's date, the number of cases have come down in such a way that since June 2020, this is the lowest today.
Excellent.
Okay, we have a recovery rate of 95%,
Mashallah.
which is very high recovery rate.
Yeah.
We have a very, I would say that each life matters. We should not lose any life, but we have a death rate as low as 1.2%.
Well, I think
Which
this
is
is
very
a great
very-
achievement.
Exactly, exactly. So this is what I would like to mention, that we are handling it quite well, but our number being big, as a big country, we have a...
Yes.
That leads us, Your Excellency, to a question, really, Amal, which is binding this catastrophe with the vaccine. So we just heard, really, that also India is starting developing a vaccine against coronavirus, COVID-19. So could you elaborate, really, for us and for the viewers, the potentiality of Indian people, nice people, to find also a vaccine to fight this, really, COVID-19?
One good thing about India is that over the years, over the period of last few decades, India had become the pharmacy of the world.
Excellent.
We export, we produce a large percentage of the generic medicine in the world. We export it to the US, we export it to the UK, we export it all over the world. When I was in the US, I remember that there was a huge flow of Indian generic medicines.
Yeah.
So this is how India has become a factory, a pharmacy of the world. So that has helped us. Second, we have, as we talked earlier, we have a huge pool of talented doctors and medical professionals and scientists. So this has helped us to face this difficulty very well. When it comes to COVID vaccines, you know that in all over the world there are around 300 projects which is now going on for vaccine researches and going on, of which some 30 of them have made some progress and some of them have very good progress. In India, we are focusing on 6 major projects. 6 major projects, of which 3 are indigenous projects, our own companies, and 3 are joint ventures. So our objective is to have to vaccinate in the first instance around 300 million of our people. This include the healthcare workers, the people in the front line like the police officers, police staff, and people who are in the field. And of course what we call the vulnerable sections of the society when it comes to COVID pandemic. That is people above 50 and people who have other issues like diabetic or hypertension or blood pressure issues or heart ailment. These are the people who need treatment. So we have identified around 300 million people. So our hope is to produce enough vaccines in coming months. And I am told that as early as in January, that is within a few days, we could have the first vaccine. Now 2 of the projects have already submitted for that emergency clearance with the Government of India. We have a good regulatory system in place. So these would be the regulators who have the authority, who have the expertise, and who have the experience, who will decide on when it is to be cleared, and once it is cleared, we will be giving it to the people.
I think this is a beautiful sign, really, when you hear that, one of the nice, beautiful countries like India, they are searching for a medicine or a vaccine or a success tools to help the world. I think this is a humanitarian great thing.
Yes, indeed. And we know as well, dear viewers, India is not from today. It was from generations and generations and years ago. It really gave a lot to the world, not just in medicine, also in wisdom and a lot beside it. But we know as well that the economic pandemic, that was another pandemic that came hand by hand with the COVID-19. So how did India really manage this economic pandemic, Doctor?
Tough question, my dear.
No, thank you, thank you. No, the fact is that COVID-19 pandemic has affected almost every country in the world. Every society was affected. So what we have adopted was a all-country approach. The entire government of India, the entire state governments, the entire local governments, and the people, with the participation of the people, we have, under the leadership of our Prime Minister, we have taken steps, various measures. In fact, the Prime Minister has been discussing this with all the state chief ministers regularly on how to take these things forward. Yes, we were also affected by our economy was also affected like every economy because there was a lockdown, complete lockdown in the country for months. It had affected. But a few things the government has taken, which I would say that it transformed the situation. The first is that government made it a point that no poor person will suffer. What they have done is that you won't believe, for last 7, 8, 9 months, free ration was supplied to 800 million people.
MashaAllah.
If you look at it, 800 million, it is 1/10 of the total population of the world. So they were given, and this worked very well. That takes care of the basic factor. Second, government has come up with a lot of to bring in liquidity to the market through various schemes like not the loan waivers but delayed repayment of loans, interest waivers, all these things. Then the Reserve Bank of India has come up with a huge plan aimed at stimulus package aimed at helping the business take it forward. The result is that today, when we opened up the economy, things started getting better. There is one example I'll tell you. I'm told that there is 8% increase in the sale of tractors
Wow.
You know, the agriculture tractors.
Yes.
That shows in dire, it is working. Or
it
in
is.
I'm told that 16% increase in the sale of two-wheelers, the bikes.
Oh,
Mashallah,
yeah.
Okay. So these are signs that the economy is bouncing back and
Reviving,
it is helping.
I
Yes,
think.
it is reviving. Third thing, the stock market is doing very well.
Well,
So this
excellent.
is very important. Investment to India, including from Kuwait,
Yes.
is on the rise,
Yes.
which again is a
the
good
most
sign.
important thing, my dear, is the rice, please.
And tea.
Yeah.
And tea.
And tea.
You know, Your Excellency, it is really, we want to have a long time discussion because the files, there are plenty full of information we are in need of you. But, the timing, is getting short. But we're going, inshallah, to see you in another episode. But last question, really, coming from me personally, I stole it from Amal. She wanted to ask it, but I said, no, it's my turn. What's the message you gonna say to your people who lives in Kuwait as Indian people in your own language, in the Indian language, which is, I know a little bit of it, which is the Urdu. Huh? Urdu. Now you're sending a message from your people in India who live in Kuwait for the public awareness as to follow the instructions and the rules of Ministry of Health, especially at this time of coronavirus. So the phone is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. As I said in the beginning, I am very happy to be here because I am, we have the excellent.
Now you have to say it in your Indian
when
language.
it comes to Indian languages, India has several languages.
It's 300 or something more.
No, but official languages we have, in 2 digits we have many languages. So we communicate in Hindi, we communicate in Tamil, we communicate in Malayalam, we communicate in Telugu. So instead of taking one language, I would say that, Hindi is the language which we normally speak on.
Yeah.
But I think the people who come from India here are from different states.
Exactly.
So perhaps it would be better I stick to English so that everybody
Indeed.
understands
So we
it.
can understand as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So as I said, I feel at home here. We have a large community. We have an excellent bilateral relationship. I would say that it is a long-standing dynamic partnership. And it is not built only by the leadership of the 2 countries. Of course, we have excellent political engagement between the 2 countries.
Yeah.
But it is built brick by brick by these people who are there. It is the people-to-people
Indeed.
contact.
The human
people
beings.
So they have an important role to play to continue to maintain that relationship and build that partnership. Particularly this year, next year is going to be, we are getting into the new year,
Yes.
2021. This is going to be the 60th anniversary of establishment of our diplomatic relations.
I think
Yes.
it is a great job, Amal, to
Yes.
have this beautiful gentleman as really, an ambassador of India.
Yes,
We
indeed.
thank you for really granting us really the acceptance to be our guest today in our special episode of Sunshine program. And inshallah, we have a lot of things. We didn't talk about the Indian food and the masala and things, but let it in another
That's
stage.
different, yes. Dear viewers, we know that each person is his own ambassador of the country, but we know as well that Kuwait and India had a long time relationship of that comes not by diplomatic as we all say it, not just that, no. It comes from the compassion and from the heart. Our ancestors really loved going to India each and every day to work. And also, we have relatives from Kuwait and India. We are binded by not just diplomatic ways, Your Excellency, but also by compassionate, and also the nature of the lands are bilateral. So thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you.
We are really
Thank you
glad,
very much.
and
Thank
thanks
you.
a lot to
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
I think, thank you, dear viewer, in your really regard, we by your name, we say that thank you to His Excellency Mr. Sibi George, the Ambassador of India in Kuwait, and wishing him really by ending this program or ending this year really with the 2021, a new year, inshallah, is going to be good for you and for your family, please. So thank you very much, and inshallah, we'll see better then.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now I think we have a little and quick break, and then getting back to you, dear viewers.